Welcome back. So we're going to start solving inequalities, and we're going to start with our one-step inequalities, focusing on addition and subtraction for this first one. It is pretty much like solving equations. It's just that there are multiple answers because it's an inequality. So let's have at it. All right, so here we have, what are the solutions of x minus 15, which is greater than negative 12? And I'm just going to rewrite that so we can see it without all the other words around it. So how would we solve it? Well, I want it to become 0 on the left to where it's just left with x, and whatever I do to the left, I have to do equally to the right, or in this case, inequally. But because I was trying to, Mrs. Cartwright's not great with the puns tonight. All right, so I'm going to add 15 to both sides. Again, that's because this makes this 0. Negative 15 plus 15 is 0. So I'm left with x is greater than, and then negative 12 plus 15. They are different signs, so I'm actually going to subtract. And 15 minus 12 is 3. And since the 15 is bigger, it's positive. So that's my answer. I have now solved the inequality. But then it tells me I need to graph the solution. So that's what we were doing in the last lesson. So I'm going to draw myself a nice little number line here. And we're going to do negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll add a 5. All right. So from here, there's no equal to, so it's just an open circle. And then we're greater than. So 4 or 5, those are my numbers greater than. So I go this way. And I tend to draw my arrow out past wherever my line is. That's just me. Or make this really, really dark so that we know that we shaded it in this way. I don't care. Whatever you feel like doing. But that's the way my arrow goes. And the problem is solved. So on to the next. So here we have t plus 6 is greater than negative 4. The opposite of plus 6 would be to subtract 6, but really I'm wanting to think of 6 plus what will give me 0, and in this case it's a negative 6. So I now have got t is greater than negative negative, so it's going to be a bigger negative. Same signs, add and keep the sign. So 4 plus 6 is 10. And so we know that you don't have, I do want you writing your graphs on your paper, and I guess I should have said that on the last one. I will try and remember to write it in your notes or on your notes page in Canvas. But t is greater than negative 10, so we have negative 10, negative 9, negative 8, negative 7, negative 6. You can skip count. I'm fine with that. Negative 5. So it's just greater than, no equal to. So again, it's an open circle. Greater than would be going this direction, which feels weird at first because we think of 9 as being less than 10, but we're working with the negative. So in this case, it's actually greater than negative 10. And so then we keep going that way. And so what this means, what that graph means is that t could be negative 9 to positive infinity, and it would be an answer to this equation. All right, and then we have a word problem. The hard drive on your computer has a capacity of 120 gigabytes, which basically means we can't go beyond that. You have used, so we've used 85 gigabytes, and you want to save some home videos on your hard drive. What are your possible sizes of home videos you can save? So I want to know what size of home videos, so that's going to be my x. So that plus the 85 has to be less than 120. Why less than? Because 120 is the limit. And I would put equal to, less than or equal to 120, because it can be 120, but it can't be more than 120. So that's where we are. That's our capacity. From here, we're going to solve. So I'm going to subtract 85 from both sides. So then x is going to be less than or equal to 35. And then that means that my home videos can be, and those are gigabytes, my home videos can be anything less than 35 gigabytes. So that could be from like 1 gigabyte to 35 gigabytes. All of those are possible answers. And so we have that. I would say we have 35 different answers, but we don't. We actually have an infinite because they could be partial. No one said that they had to be whole gigabytes. So we could actually be working with technically what we call megabytes in there. So that's just something to think about. That's how we add and subtract to solve our equations. Basically, it is the same. I said equations. Add and subtract to solve our inequalities, and basically it's the same as equations. So if you can solve a one-step equation, then you can solve a one-step inequality. See you in the next video.